In the heart of Awada, a bustling Nigerian city that never slept, street vendors shouted above honking danfo buses and skyscrapers kissed the sky with pride. Beneath this chaos and charm lived Ebuka, one of the city's wealthiest but quietest billionaires. He was a man who had known poverty in his youth, slept on benches, and walked under the sun until his skin browned like roasted granules. But through grit and vision, he built Ebuka Holdings, a company that supplied half of the country's building materials and fed hundreds of families. Yet, inside his majestic three-story mansion, painted in pure white with golden gates, Ebuka's heart was troubled. For all he had built, he couldn't rebuild what he had lost in his family. His wife, Ogechi, once his biggest cheerleader, had become someone else. She was obsessed with parties, Instagram fame, and the company of smooth-talking men. His son, Tochi, was too proud to greet anyone earning less than 6 figures. His daughter, Soma, the youngest of them all, stayed quiet, watching from the shadows. Ebuka felt like a stranger in his home. One evening, while sitting in his office and gazing at an old photo of him and Ogechi selling akara under a tree, tears welled in his eyes. Do they love me or the life I gave them? He whispered. A plan began to form, radical and risky, but he had to know the truth. The next morning, Ebuka vanished. He left behind no letter, no phone, no trace, just silence. Panic swept the household. Ogechi made a public show of grief, crying in front of cameras and reporters, clutching her chest dramatically. My husband, my love, where are you? She wailed. But behind closed doors, she smiled more than she cried. Days later, she moved her lover into the mansion, a young man named Dike, who smelled of calling and arrogance. Tochi took over his father's office, ordering staff around like a dictator. He emptied Ebuka's accounts on new cars and parties. Soma, on the other hand, missed her father genuinely. She walked through his study every morning, cleaning his desk and prayed. But Ebuka wasn't dead. He was living just 10 kilometers away in Uwoki Market, disguised as a poor man named Papa Chinedu. He wore torn trousers, walked barefoot, and sold sachet water for survival. He watched people, studied human behavior, and waited. Life as Papa Chinedu was harsh. The sun scorched, the mosquito bites, the passers-by looked at him with disgust. But Ebuka embraced the pain. It brought clarity. He met kind strangers and wicked souls, all treating him based on what he wore and not who he was. His heart was broken the day he stood in front of his own gate and knocked. Ogechi answered, "What do you want, dirty old man?" She snapped, her expensive wig almost blending. Madam, please, water. He begged. She hissed, come back again and I will call security. And as he turned to leave, she slapped him with a broom. Idiot! Tochi appeared from the driveway laughing loudly. Who allowed this animal in here? But just before he reached the streets, a soft voice called out, wait! It was Soma. She brought him a cold bottle of water and bread. God bless you, sir, she said genuinely. Ebuka took it with trembling hands. His eyes met hers, and something passed between them, an echo of recognition. Days turned into weeks. Ebuka watched his family fall deeper into disgrace. Ogechi sold his shares to fund her luxury lifestyle. Tochi rented out his father's properties to fraudsters. Only Soma remained different, humble, compassionate. One rainy evening, Ebuka stood under a tree near their mansion, drenched, hungry, but invisible to the ones who once called him husband and father. Ogechi passed by in her SUV, splashing water all over him and never looked back. That night, Ebuka couldn't sleep. The pain wasn't from hunger or wet clothes. It was betrayal. His heart hurt, and not from poverty, from love lost. But he also knew he had seen enough. The test was over. The following morning, Ebuka returned to Ebuka Holdings, clean-shaven, well-dressed, and flanked by reporters and lawyers. His reappearance shocked the city. News spread like wildfire. Ebuka Nwoke returns. Cameras flashed. Ogechi fainted at the mansion's entrance. My husband! It was the devil. I didn't know it was you. She wept. Tochi fell on his knees. Daddy, I was confused. But Ebuka was calm. I saw everything, he said. Not as Ebuka the billionaire, but as Papa Chinedu the beggar. He played footage from hidden cameras on national TV. Ogechi's insults, Tochi's mockery, and Soma's kindness. The crowd grabs. In court, Ebuka changed his will. Tochi receives nothing, he said. Let him learn the value of work. He turned to Ogechi. You were once my partner, but greed has swallowed your soul. Our marriage is over. Then with teary eyes he faced Soma. You saw me. You didn't see clothes or death. You saw me. He handed her a golden envelope. The new CEO of Ebuka Holdings. The courtroom clapped. Soma wept. Ogechi screamed and collapsed. Tochi stomped out defeated. And Ebuka, he simply smiled. Months later, Soma led the company with grace. She built schools, donated to orphanages, and kept her father close. Ebuka found peace again, sitting under a tree drinking pap, telling his story to strangers. When asked why he did it, he replied, to see if I was loved or just needed. The streets of Awada sang a new song, not just of money, but of meaning. And from the mansion on the hill, the light in Soma's office never went off. She She had learned from the best, and Ebuka, he learned that love, when true, needs no riches to shine. The moral of this story entails that, was Ebuka really loved or just needed? Thank you for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.